Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Leading You. And this episode has literally got some fire in it for you. Everybody talks about the glow up, the quantum leap, the next level, but not many talk about the fire that comes before it. The kind of fire that doesn't just light your path, it burns through who you used to be. And this episode is for the woman who's been walking through her redefining season, where things felt heavy, confusing, messy, even lonely. And maybe for a moment you thought something was wrong with you. It's like, what is going on with me? But nothing is wrong with you. You're just being forged. You're becoming the woman that 2026 requires. You're becoming the future you. Because here's the thing that we often don't talk about when we're elevating, when people are elevating and we're aiming to do that. It's not always glitter and wins. Sometimes it looks like grief, grieving the old version of you, old circles of people that you used to connect with, old rhythms, our operating rhythms that once worked for us that now feel completely suffocating. Because when you start leading on a new level, the world around you doesn't always catch up immediately. And that's the lonely edge of leadership that no one prepares you for. It's that season where you're too much for some and not enough for others. But you know in yourself, in your spirit, in your being that you're right where you need to be. That fire you're in right now, it's not punishment. It's regenerative. It's like, when a fire sweeps through the forest and everything's like blackened, but then new life grows and it's better for the forest. Like the leaves become green again. The growth happens at a more rapid rate and things become green again very quickly. So if this year felt like, you were falling apart, I want you to hear this really clearly. You're not falling apart. You're falling into alignment. And this is all about being the leader of self, about being the leader of you. And of course, you can't be an effective leader of anyone else until you are an effective leader of yourself. It is one of the most important components of leadership. It comes first. You're the one where you're called to hold it all. The vision, the people, the responsibility, the emotions, and still show up with clarity, power, and grace. Like, that's a lot. They tell you to find balance, but real leaders know that balance is a myth. And when you're building something that's really important, really, really powerful, there is no such thing as a balance. It's not about balancing. It's about being anchored to who you are and what you stand for, even when everything around you is stretching. It's about understanding who you are and what works for you in any given moment. When you need to pause, when you need to put in more, and when you need to take time out for you. 2025 has tested many people's capacity. It's been a fast and furious year. Like, I can't believe that this is the third last podcast of this year for Leading You. Like, that is insane. It's just really tested people's capacity, this curiosity of 25. It's exposed the areas where you may have been overgiving, overworking, or outsourcing your validation. And this is incredibly important. But that exposure wasn't failure. It was feedback. It was your next level saying, you can't take that with you. You can't move into 2026 looking for external validation. That's got to come internally. Because 2026 won't necessarily ask you to do more. It will ask you to hold more. And that requires a deeper level of leadership, not just in business, but in your energy, in your boundaries, and in your self-belief. And this is the moment where women who lead everything, business, teams, people, their careers, legacy, have to remember. Before gold glows, it gets refined. The pressure you've been under this year, it's not random. It's precision. It's life's way of saying you've been calibrated for the weight of what's next. Even though it feels really hard. And even though sometimes we don't necessarily want that. However, life has a way of preparing us for what's next, and we often don't even know what that is. 2026 will not reward those who hustle the hardest. 2025 hasn't done that either. It will reward who's most anchored in who she stands for and what is truly important to her. Who's done with the pretending and who's not afraid to prune what doesn't fit anymore. So instead of asking, how can I do more? Ask, what is the level that I want to lead from? What is that frequency that I need to tune into? Because strategy without that frequency is just noise. But frequency, that's where everything starts to align. Your clients, the money, the impact, the peace, and creating the legacy that you are really, really proud of. So if this year has felt like a fire, then good. Because that means you're not static. You're shifting. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. And when 2026 arrives, I don't want you walking in as the same woman who's walking out of 2025. You've been tested. You've been challenged. You are ready. I know that's happened to me this year. I have been tested and challenged in numerous ways. I have felt stuck. I felt like everything is often out of control, like it's incredibly messy. That's really hard for me. I love to be in control. I love to feel in control, and I will do everything in my power to help myself feel that way. But often I just haven't been able to do that. But it's in those moments that some of my best ideas have come as well. So remember this. The woman you're becoming is already waiting for you on the other side of this fire. So meet her there. And next episode, our final episode for 2026, is when we will close out the year together. Not with a recap, but with a calibration. And we're going to pull every ounce of gold out of 2025 to build your runway for 2026 with clarity, power, and this fire that is burning within you right now. And now that we're talking about it, you might be able to feel it like it is there. You are ready. The woman that you're becoming is there waiting for you to step into and to really own. So until there, walk through your fire period on purpose. You're not in the fire. You are the fire. And 2026 better be ready for us. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please share it with someone that you think would love to hear this. And of course, I'd love you to rate and review this podcast. It helps to get it into more ears. I'm super excited to bring you the final 2 episodes of this year. I can't believe it. And I will be back in your ears in the last week of November with another fiery episode so that you can take this with you into 2026. Bye for now.